Hello, and welcome to the TwoTakes podcast presented by your hosts Ben Coates and Max Dean.
I've started clicking recording anyway. But hello, Ben.
Hello, how are we doing, guys?
Yes, I'm well. I'm well, thank you. Just today, we're going to review top 5 films of personal enjoyment that that might not be the best films that are top 100 in the world, but for you and I. And so we'll go from fifth top best films, and we'll start fifth, and we'll bounce across each other's lists. And so, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'm fifth on my list. I have Across the Spider-Verse, which I actually only recently watched, I think this year, because I didn't go see it and watch it in the cinema, and I didn't want to watch it. I wanted to wait for it to be on like a streaming site or something I could watch it on a TV, because I thought it's the kind of film you need to watch on a big screen. But yeah, really loved it. Thought it was better than the first one. It's not really usually my kind of thing, but
It's a unique animation style, isn't it? It's very
it's like proper like comic books kind of thing, and it was all about the ending for me, like the whole like kind of third act in the film was just like, it was brilliant. Yeah, amazing, great film.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. It's interesting you've got an animated one on there. I've not got an animated on my top 5.
I've got another one on there as well.
Oh, double down. Okay, fair enough. My fifth favorite film ever is Hidden Figures, and it's about the women.
Yeah.
It's about the women.
Good
Great film. It's about the women, who did all the maths for the first moon landing and stuff. And great film, great acting, really well done. And so, bit of a different one, but I enjoy it nonetheless. It's just very gripping, and it's got quite a big cast, to be fair.
Yeah, really good cast. Kevin Costner, Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
I should know the main woman's name.
I cannot. I know it's Henson is her surname, but I don't know her first name. But she's quite big in other stuff.
Begins with T, I know. It begins with T, that's well.
Yeah, but yeah, really good film. And just obviously it's about space, and I'm a bit, I like my space and stuff, and so it was just a very, very, very good film, and very nice message behind it as well. But yeah. Your fourth?
My fourth, you can laugh at this one, is The Greatest Showman. That's the one I said I thought you'd be surprised by it.
I don't know. Am I surprised? I don't know. It's a very popular film, and I can see why. I've watched it a number of times, but
I never watched it. Again, this is not a film I watched in cinema or anything like that. I didn't watch it for years, and then Lydia basically showed me it, and yeah, just absolutely loved it. Like,
I think I have the musical tune on it on vinyl. Actually, to be fair, for someone so I get it. Yeah, I think I got it for Lorian.
Love the music. Like, always. It's just it's probably the only. No, there's other musicals I like, but that's probably the best one in terms of music stuff for me.
Yeah, but it's got Hugh Jackman and Zac
Efron, yeah.
Zac Efron, yeah, and they're a good combo. Very, very. It's got the lightheartedness, got the drama, got all the twists and turns in it.
Yeah, it's got a bit of everything. You got Zendaya in there as well, so
yeah, that's true. Was that her big first film or no?
No, I think she was she had.
Was she already in Spider-Man?
She was already in Spider-Man by that. I think Homecoming came out before that. I think anyway, but she was kind of coming into her own at that point, and then I think. Yeah, this was probably the biggest thing she'd done, probably. But apart
from Spider-Man.
But obviously in Spider-Man, she's not exactly the main character.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Okay, well, my
fourth one, she's not really a main character in the first one either.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to hear what you think about this one. So my fourth favorite film is Fight Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really love it. Really love it. It's such a clever film, and I watched it with Lauren. She's never seen it. We watched it the first time this year, and she spotted obviously. Have you seen the film? Like the plot twist and stuff. She spotted it before it even happened, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty good." I remember watching it in philosophy at like A level, and just being like, "This is such a clever film, and it's a thought provoking one." But obviously, again, stud line up and stuff, and it's a thought provoking one, which I quite enjoyed. But
it's a good film, classic film. Like, everyone kind of like, it's one of those films you look back on, you think like it's just a really good film.
But when someone says they've not watched it, that's a surprise to me because Fight Club is like, oh, no one talks, you don't talk about Fight Club, and it's just such a known joke between people, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. We've got very different films, but
yeah,
quite
very
different
different
ones.
films so far.
Third place. What are you going for third?
So my third is Return of the King, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Okay.
Just like I heard this was hard for me anyway, but it's just such a iconic film, and obviously the Lord of the Rings trilogies are amazing. I kind of go back and forth. Like I like the second one and the third one. I could like kind of intertwine, but I think the third one just picked it for me.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting for me because you've now gone towards like more fantasy or classic fantasy. Let's put it that way. And my third favorite film is Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones, and so
Attack of the Clones. I thought you were going to say Empire Strikes Back.
No, I'm much more of a prequel sort of guy, and so which probably get some hate. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's just because I'm
the strongest one.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of the lightsabers that are there. Like I like to see all the lightsabers. I like to see the clones. It was very interesting to see like the galactic politics and stuff. And you know, it was some questionable acting, but it set up a franchise of the Clone Wars. The TV show became a thing because of it, and I do appreciate the originals, but the prequel for me are just I like Count Dooku. I like seeing Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, and just having all those other key characters was just very.
The whole battle scene at the end like, with all the Jedi, that's pretty sick.
Vibes. So for me, but I knew you'd pick up on that, and it's funny that you've gone for Lord of the Rings and you've chosen the first one because again, lots of people will be like, "Oh, you always got to pick the one that set it up." But yeah, great stuff. All right, second place.
This one's my animated one. So this How to Train Your Dragon.
I remember you saying it before that you quite liked that. Yeah, okay. I'm really surprised. Like, they're good films.
Yeah, I told you wouldn't. I told you it'd be interesting. But yeah, that's like this is like we've got like a little Toothless. Lydia, we got one for Lydia way back. But yeah, obviously Toothless, Hiccup, Asterisk. Love the whole trilogy. Probably one of the best animated trilogies there is. And
you looking forward to the live action?
Yes and no, because like obviously with live action you kind of always got to go into it with an open mind. Like it's hard. This is the thing because with something like this live action, like this is like dragons. Mm-hmm. So like live action dragons are usually not how they look in these films.
Yeah,
you get like usually like the traditional dragon, like in House of Dragon, whatever. And obviously these dragons in How to Train Your Dragon are very different.
Different.
How are you gonna like bring that into live action without it looking like they're fake sort of thing?
I think they'll make them look too normal. They'll make them look too much like House of Dragons. Which
like how you like actually think dragons look sort of thing, whereas it shouldn't look like that. So yeah, like obviously like live action, some are good, some are bad. So I don't really think they needed to do it. I think like the trilogy was fine as it is. Like you could just leave that as a brilliant trilogy. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, I think we discussed it in a previous episode that we said everything's being made into live action, and it just doesn't need to be. Some stuff, animation's just fine.
I'm not sure. Some of the stuff you can just leave like they're perfect as they are. So we don't need all these sequels, live actions. Like you can make new stuff. You don't always have to do a sequel to stuff.
Yeah, and so my very different on my second places. My second favorite film ever is Catch Me If You Can. So it's,
Tom Hanks and Leah. Yeah,
great film as well. Love it. Yeah, it's a really good one. For me, it's like obviously it's the illusion of someone can pull off all those like individual lives, but I think it's very embellished from the truth. I think the guy is just a con artist that never pulled it off, but sold the story. But great film, and one of my favorite scenes is like one of the classic ones is where he finally catches him for the first time, and he like pretends to be like CIA or ATF or something like that, and like he says, "Oh, here's my badge."
He's already there, like
great part of the film, great thing. But that's probably like I'm not someone who once I watch a film, like I've got a pace for it, and very rarely watch another film again. But that is one that I could just watch. Always watch it on a plane as well. It's always on airlines, and I always try and watch it. It's always a good one. All right, ready? Gold place, number one, top of the podium.
So my number one is Gladiator, Ridley Scott, 2000.
Yeah,
like that that kind of film is the kind of films that I love, like the kind of old school medieval epics, like Gladiator, the Kingdom of Heaven,
Kingdom of Heaven, great film, great
King
film.
Arthur, Last Samurai, all those kind of massive epics that are like big, like medieval war kind of films. Just my kind of films. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised The Last Samurai wasn't on your list because I know I've heard you mention that film before.
That's on the honourable mentions. To be fair, I've got that on honourable mentions. But but yeah, that Gladiator, I feel like Gladiator is the best one out of that genre of films. It was my favourite anyway.
Well, it's having a
yeah,
2 after all this time. So
sequel. To be fair with that one, I know I just said like not everything needs a sequel, and I did think that Gladiator didn't need a sequel, but from what you see from the trailers and Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Denzel, it does look very good.
yeah,
So I'm hoping they do it justice. I don't think Ridley Scott's had a great couple last films, like he did Napoleon, which was great.
yeah.
So hopefully he does it justice. Obviously he's not going to have Russell Crowe because he's really old, all that stuff, and he didn't want to come back. So
It's a dangerous game to relaunch a franchise with new people. It's like, especially if it's not trying to reboot a film. It's trying to add to the franchise. So maybe it's not going to be as difficult. Fair enough. No, I think that's a very contrasting list of like sort of interests. I guess,
it's a mix. I've got a mix in there.
Yeah, yours is very, very, very mixed. And animation, that's the one I always think about putting some animated films on there, but they're just not there for me yet. And I do like, if we went to TV shows, animation for me probably would be quite like higher than live action. But God, how many honourable mentions do you have?
I have quite a few, to be fair, because some of them like I couldn't. I hate doing these top fives or whatever. But right, so honourable mentions I've got. So I put just a trilogy in because all three of these films are really good. So the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the first original. Not for you, no.
Planet of the Apes, zero interest. I've watched I've not watched the newest one. I've watched all the ones before, and I'm like, all right, Caesar, calm down.
No, it's so good. Like those films don't get enough love.
I can see the appeal, but those. I just think.
And obviously the new one was really good. I watched that in the cinema. I went by myself. Lydia didn't want to go because she doesn't like apes and monkeys.
They freak her out, especially if they're talking like real people.
I went by myself.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that trilogy, Chef. I don't know if you watched the film Chef.
Chef is a great film. Yeah, when he makes that, actually probably should be in my top 5 over probably one of my other ones. When he makes you can watch that on Netflix. I watched that literally where he's like the Michelin star chef, but he goes and makes
and then he does like
sandwiches.
The food truck.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, he does like Cuban sandwiches, stuff like that.
Great.
It's like a feel good, happy film.
I think I would move that onto my top 5, but what would that replace? I think I would probably put that above Fight Club actually, because it's a feel-good film. Well, Fight Club makes you just panic.
It makes you hungry. It makes you want to eat, and it's got like a great cast. It's got RDJ, Favreau, Scarlett Johansson,
Sophia Vargas.
Vergara. Yep.
Robert Downey Jr.'s in it as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's the boyfriend, isn't he?
He's a bit of a knobhead in it, but yeah, it's such a great film. It's just like it just makes you feel good. It's just like you go out. It's not too long as well. It's just like an hour and a half or hour 40. Yeah. And it's just it just makes you feel good after you watch it. So
yeah, great film. I can't believe it. That's it. And when we made these lists, it's one of those things where you're like, you just said it before we started recording. We'll say this one and we'll be like, that is another one where I watch that and I love it. It makes me want to go and cook something. It's a great film.
Exactly. So
honestly, that probably knocks down even Star Wars. I've watched that more than I've watched that Star Wars film. So
yeah, like it's a film we've gone back and watched a few times. Like if we ever like just like we don't know what to watch, Chef is usually there. If it's not usually on streaming sites, but if it's there, we'll watch it.
I think it's on Netflix at the moment. If you want to, if you're going to dabble,
we haven't watched it recently, but maybe in a few weeks.
Yeah. All right. Well, before you go through your list anymore, I will match your trilogy with a soon-to-be trilogy, but it's on its way there. But the Dune films, the modern ones, I have thoroughly enjoyed them. I didn't think I would as much, but I watched the first one. I went, "This is really good." The second one,
The
fully
second
in for it.
one is like amazing.
Oh yeah, Timothy Chalamet, big fan of his.
Yeah.
And he plays the character so well, and it's got such a stud lineup. And I just think I got out of it and I thought I can't wait for the next film. I need to read the book, and that's how good it
Yeah.
was. And like very impressed by that as a trilogy.
That the first one I had to go back and watch because when of my first watch through, I was like,
There's a lot of moving parts for sure.
I expected more from it, like 'cause I thought like from the trailer and stuff like that. But once I went back and watched it, I was like, no, that's actually a very good film. It's just like it's like world building. It's trying to set up the story and stuff like that. So you got to go into it knowing that it's not going to be like loads of action or whatever. It's not going to tie in the story. It's trying to build everything and bring everything together.
Yeah, I really like the whole, I don't know if you call it throat singing sort of thing, like that how they do the whole the yelling, great stuff. But
a great score on it as well, just all the music and stuff.
And then I'll go for another one. So what was your second one? You went for Chef. That was a really good one. I'll go for another big classic, Django Unchained.
Oh yeah,
that's just a classic. It's just the acting in it is like you actually are like, oh my god, and it just hits you in your feels and stuff, and it's funny but serious, and it's got the action but it's got the drama.
You know the scene in that where Leo smashes like that hammer.
Yeah.
Like that's like all real as well, the blood and stuff. Like he actually hurts himself and he just goes with it.
Yeah.
And apparently, like he had a lot of issues saying like obviously.
Yeah. Samuel Jackson apparently grilled him, was like, do it, like psyching him out, which is so. Apparently, he would do a scene. I think I've seen the same interview that you're referring to, where like. Well, I think Samuel Jackson actually said that he did this. He didn't come out and tell his own story, but was like they would do a scene where he has to use the word, and then he would have to be done for the day because he couldn't look people in the eyes, which I think is mad. But like, fair enough, he's a big actor.
It's uncomfortable word and all that sort of stuff. So
and it could damage his career, like if it's done in ill taste. But go on, what's your next honourable mention?
So this one is
not honourable.
It's a weird film, but it's just such a brilliant film, and I think like people just need to watch it. But have you watched what film Spotlight?
Spotlight. Who's in it?
So Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, Stanley Tucci. But it's not a kind of film that you.
Is it about uncovering the scandal, the child's?
Yeah, from the Christian, the
cover up. Yeah,
all the cover up and around like
heavy hitter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not really a kind of film. It's a film you kind of get educated on rather than like you're watching it for enjoyment. But I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was such a brilliant made film, and it is a film like I've gone back and watched a couple of times. But it's you've got to be in the right frame of mind to watch it. But
you got to be into a mood of almost a little bit of learning. You want to learn about some truths and stuff.
It's really well done, and obviously like it brings to light like a true story and like this whole scandal and all this stuff. And I just think it's a very well made film. So it's obviously it's not really a film that you like go into for enjoyment, but I think it's just a very well made film.
Yeah. Go on then. Okay, so that's the third one. What's the fourth one? Another one?
Oh, so this. Have you ever watched the film The Terminal?
Great film. How's that not on the list? Yeah, that's not my top 5, but unbelievable performance by Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
so good.
Like he obviously the accent, the
emotion with the lack of words. His performance is incredible.
There's so many scenes in that film that you just like so iconic, and it's just such a beautiful film, and like it's so like simple, just being stuck in an airport, but like it brings in so much, and like it's a great film, great film.
Like there's like and the guy, I think is how you say his name is Stanley Tucci, who's like the airport manager guy. He plays such a good villain. Like I know it's not villain particularly, but antagonist. Yeah, he's so good in it. Yeah, it's a very in your feels film, and like a feel good film because you feel sad for a bit of it because he goes through the hard times. But I think it actually doesn't do the real story justice. I think the real story, the guy who was trapped in Paris, Charles de Gaulle, I think that's where it's actually happened. He was there for way longer. I think he was there for decades, and so crazy. But great film, man, great film. So I'll go for 2 here. So Shutter Island With
Okay,
Leonardo
yeah.
DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Great film. Again, sort of going like the Fight Club thing, where like if you can spot it before it happens, it's quite interesting. But so it's one of those films.
Yeah.
It's one of those films where you've got to watch it. You realize it, and then you then watch it again. You're like, oh my god, how did I not see it? Like
Yeah,
it's all
it's one of
really in
those
front of you.
once you clock, you can't unclock it, sort of thing. You can see straight away if you watch it again. Like,
Yeah, but that's a
obviously
heavier
that was
film.
not
Like
right.
that's you got to sit down and be ready for like some like sort of a
Yeah,
you
like
know
I
it's suspense.
remember I didn't watch it for ages because like I was like obviously we were younger at this point, but I was like because I wasn't really into horror and stuff like that, and I just everything that I looked at it, just like I didn't even want to watch it. Like, it looked scary and stuff like that, and it just I
It just
just
shows his
took me a
diversity as
while
an
to watch
actor
it.
for Leo. I think it was really good, and it's just
Yeah,
yeah. Once you know, like once you know the ending, you're just sort of and you rewatch it, you're just like clear as day as like what's going on. And then another one, which again is very it has uplifting moments, but it's actually a very tough watch in the sense of like sad, like being a bit sad. Is Hacksaw Ridge.
yeah,
That's a
brilliant
really
film. Andrew
really
Garfield,
Andrew Garfield
probably one of his
really
best films he's made. To be fair,
100%, and that like detached him from doing the whole like Spider-Man guy. But I mean, I think he had broken away from that. He'd done more serious films, but an outstanding performance for
yeah,
sure.
amazing, such a good film.
Go on.
He's
Any,
brilliant in it.
any more on your list? I've got an animated one coming up. Finally getting down
I've
there.
got one more. So I've got one more. The Martian.
Great film, Ben. What a great film. Oh yeah, definitely.
Matt Damon.
Matt
Another Ridley
Damon,
Scott film, I think.
The Martian, great film.
And I think again, probably one of obviously Matt Damon's got a brilliant amount of films. Probably Good Will Hunting is his best film, but I'd say The Martian is up there with maybe like his top 5 films.
Yeah,
Got a great cast.
yeah.
And yes, it's like again, it's like kind of fantasy, that big epic kind of film, and it's obviously space is. You like the whole space thing.
It's just so well done.
Yeah, it's just a brilliant. It's just such a great film to watch.
Yeah, I do have a few more to go through if that's your last one. So one that you'll probably appreciate is Troy. Have you watched that? It's with Brad Pitt.
Love that. Again, that's like obviously like I said before.
Last Samurai. It was of the era of Last Samurai and Last Kingdom and stuff.
Yeah, they just don't make those kind of films anymore. I think like they went through that period of made like.
What do you mean great films?
Them,
I agree.
And then suddenly they were just like, no, we're done with that genre now.
Yeah. But Last Kingdom was on my list as well, so when you said that, that was really good. Oh, The Martian, that's a banger. That is I can't get over that one. Sorry, I keep going back to it. And then, really good film, Coco.
Yeah, love it. I think that's probably this is a bit controversial, but for me, that's probably Pixar's best film.
I would say it's probably one of the, if not the best animated film I've ever watched, for sure. Like it's very, very good.
We only watched it like recently as well. We only watched it maybe like last year.
Yeah.
And absolutely loved it. Like I think I saw someone say like it's one of their favorite films. Yeah, I just never watched it. We just put it on.
The music in it just makes it like, and it's a lovely story as well. And it's actually very thought provoking. In I'm pretty sure that Lauren's parents watched it, and her dad, from watching that film, started doing a very similar tradition. So like in their house now, they have a shelf with all the family photos of grandparents and everything like that. So so it's sort of impacted. Obviously, I had it higher up in the list, but you've already mentioned it. Lord of the Rings was honorable mention, and Hobbit I put on my list. I don't know if you
put the Hobbit in there. Okay.
The Hobbit, I really enjoyed the Hobbit.
I'm not as big on the Hobbit, the Hobbit trilogy. Like,
well, I've read the book, and I enjoyed. A lot of people like disassociate the enjoyment of the book and the films, but I thought it was really good.
They were good, but obviously they don't live up to the original trilogy, in my opinion. Anyway.
Oh yeah, but that's because it was across 3 films, much bigger cast. Admittedly, it was a big cast in the Hobbit. I take that back slightly. Another film that I quite like, but it's not a big film, is Ford versus Ferrari with Matt Damon in as well.
Oh yeah,
Have you watched that? Yeah, and it's got Christian Bale. Yeah, people love Christian Bale, but I
John Beffrell.
Yeah,
he's one of the guys in it. Good film.
And then my most modern one on this list, which maybe arguably not, I can't remember if this came out before or after Dune, but is Oppenheimer. I did not watch it in the cinema. I thought this is not going to
really.
I didn't watch it. I should have.
That kind of film, I feel like you have to watch that.
Yeah, I didn't, but I've got a pretty good setup with my sound system. So like I've got like there is a lot of bass. So when you hear things like that, you can sort of hear it. And I thought this is going to be a bit weird, but really enjoyed it. Cillian Murphy is a great actor. Like look at Peaky Blinders, look at the other stuff. I think I've seen him in some other stuff. But someone who was in it that really surprised me about how good he was, again, being an antagonist, was Robert Downey Jr. His role in it was great. I was like, oh, damn, I want this guy to get caught. And it was nothing like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it was everything it should have been, which was really good. And it was everything, I did, like, obviously very different films, but what it was is what you wanted Napoleon to be. Like, the story was so gripping, like, every turn was interesting, and everything was led to something more interesting. And that's what I thought Napoleon's thing was going to be. It was going to, like, his life was wildly interesting, but every turn went, what the hell are we? It was completely, like, the opposite turn.
Yeah, it's not, like, with the thing with Oppenheimer is, obviously, it's such a long film, but it doesn't feel like it at all. Yeah. I only watched it in the cinema. I haven't watched it since, but obviously Cillian Murphy's brilliant, and obviously, like you said about RDJ, the reason people probably were surprised by that performance is because obviously all he's been doing recently is Iron Man, so you don't get that level of acting with Marvel films. Obviously, like it's not meant to be like that like stronger performance in Marvel. Not like bad about the Marvel films, but obviously like all these actors that are in these big contracts with Marvel, they don't get to do these kind of films where they get to like experiment with acting and like branch out of like proper, not like proper acting, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Like,
I get what you're saying, but do you know, whenever I think about Robert Downey Jr., do you know what I think about? Which film? Considering how many films he's done that are great, I always think about Tropic Thunder.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, it's just, and I bet he I think I've seen some interviews and like about him talking about it, he's like, I don't understand what compelled me to do it. And actually,
well, I saw one with I think he was Joe Rogan was interviewing him.
Oh yeah.
And like he was saying how like he wasn't sure about it or something along those lines, and then he just thought, like, obviously Ben Stiller was like very convincing. He just thought, yeah, let's go for it. And he saw like a lot of the reviews afterwards, and he was like all this stuff. I think a different character was hated more than his, and he was just laughing about it. The fact that he got away with it.
It wasn't a bad performance, to be honest. Like, it's just controversial, but actually, it was laughing at, like, he wasn't actually playing a black man. He was playing a white man playing a black man, and it was laughing in the face of how stupid it was. Which for me, you couldn't do it if you're not an actor. Let's put it that way. And he said, you've seen other people comment on it, and actually, he didn't get cancelled by it as much as I think. Maybe because who he is protected him.
Apparently, like a lot of his black mates said that he was great. Like they loved it and stuff like that. They didn't have an issue with it. So but I associate if it's out of Marvel, I associate him with Sherlock Holmes.
He's great in the show, but he's playing a meth head in that as well. He's like great. He's not had the opportunity to show the diversity of his acting ability. I think possibly.
Yeah, because obviously he's just been doing Iron Man for the last like decade, or just Marvel films, and obviously that's what I mean. Like in Oppenheimer, you could see the range of his acting. You could see like how brilliant of an actor he actually is.
Yeah, I'm just opening up his thing here, and it's literally. So funnily enough, I've just opened up his just googled his name. So it's got Iron Man, The Avengers, Doomsday, Oppenheimer, Tropic Thunder, and Sherlock Holmes as the six things under his name. So like at least he's
I don't think he's been in. Like obviously
he was in a really good film, which I'm only remembering because I'm seeing it here. It's called The Judge.
Yeah, I was going to say the one where he's the lawyer.
He's the lawyer. That's a really good one. But I think he's been in some other stuff. But it just gets found out.
He did a Dr. Dolittle, which I don't think did great.
No, I'm just opening it up, and like we can just quickly do that. We can quickly cover some of the. I'm intrigued to hear from you, like top act. Like so, they might not have done the best films that we've ever liked. I know who my top actor in the world is, and I don't think anyone's even close to him. But yeah, we can do that. But no, yeah, his range. He's got range, but he just hasn't probably needed to do it because he's been so minted from doing.
Well, yeah, obviously with Marvel, he just gets paid a stupid amount, so he doesn't need to do anything. Doesn't need to do obviously anything else. But obviously, like I think like now he's trying to branch out a bit.
I think as he gets older, he'll become more of a serious actor, possibly. Which I think will be sick. It'd be cool to see his range in more. And I think he'll always play more serious things now. I can't see him going back towards like less serious topics. Like apart from obviously Doomsday, he's only gone back to that because of the amount of money they're going to be paying.
Was it like 200 million?
Was it? I didn't know it'd been confirmed.
I think it was like 200 million over the probably 2 or 3 films he's going to do from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
So,
Why not?
top actor of all time for you.
All right, you put me on the spot.
I know I have an answer for it, and it's 100%. I will argue it till the day I die.
Okay, well, the obvious one for me would be Denzel.
Very good. Not the best of all time. He is in some films that we need to do some honourable mentions so that we've not done. Let me just quickly look up his name. He's in the one where the Equalizer is a really big franchise that he's in. But what's the one where he's the pilot? It's called Flight. Have you ever seen
Flight,
that?
yeah, watched it recently actually. Really good.
I wish
really good at that.
Really good acting. Like you just think he's actually watching a person. He's been in some great stuff. But
Deja Vu is a very good film of his.
Yeah. Training Day. That's a big film.
Yeah, obviously Training Day. Man of Fire is a very good film as well. He's in.
Yeah, he's got some great roles, but not the best actor of all time, unfortunately.
I guess the obvious answer would be Daniel Day-Lewis.
Not for me. No.
Leo's obviously up there.
Leonardo DiCaprio is up there. He's been in some. Another honourable mention: Romeo and Juliet, the film. Have you ever seen it? When they speak in poetry, like in poetry, if you will, unbelievably good film.
Another one I would say is Viola Davis. Just to mention like a female as well, because obviously.
Oh yeah, we'll do actresses after because there's some really good.
Okay, we're just covering actors.
We're gonna do actors and then actresses. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know.
You could say Samuel Jackson because he is one of the highest grossing actors ever.
Yeah.
He is very good, and his range is not as wide as I think some other people can be, but he's played funny to serious. He's played a wild range.
But obviously, I think now he's just kind of always in films that he's just Samuel Jackson, kind of like Ryan Reynolds.
Fair enough. But like one of my favorite things that he's been in, I wouldn't say it's an honorable mention film because it's you've got to definitely like that sort of film, is Glass. He's like the man.
I've never actually watched it.
Yeah, he's really good in it. And Coach Carter, I'm opening up their profile, so I'm not claiming to remember all these films off by heart. But
Coach Carter, I love that film.
Coach Carter, great film. Like the way he,
proper good sports film.
Yeah, and he's in a lot of action to drama films. But yeah, keep going. Anyone else? Any is that? Do you think that's? What about for you? Who's your favorite actor of all time? Like who's consistently smashed it out of the park?
I don't know, because they're all kind of the typical ones that I can think of. Or like the one. I've got a lot of like new ones that I'm really liking.
Yeah.
Like it's all like kind of the new crop that I like at the moment. Like Timothée Chalamet, Austin Butler. I really like Dylan O'Brien.
Glenn Powell.
He's
not new, but he's
Glenn Powell. Obviously, yeah, he's just like
he's everywhere now.
If Glenn Powell was in a film, I'll watch it.
Yeah. And who's the other guy? Who? Did you say Austin Butler?
Yeah, I said Austin Butler.
Yeah, he's just funny because his voice has changed.
I haven't seen Bike Riders.
I've not seen that. Yeah, it looks good though.
Looks good. Yeah, I guess. Like, so I'll just rattle off some names. So Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, Jamie Foxx, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
All right, I'll put you out your misery because you clearly have no idea. It is Tom Hanks is the greatest actor.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. That's obviously a massive name that I just left off, yeah.
His range is unbelievably good. The films he's been in have just always slammed. Like, Eddie, if he's an actor where if he's in a film, I will watch it. Even if it has the worst reviews in the world, I will watch it because I don't believe it.
Have you watched Elvis, the Elvis film, biopic? That's got Tom Hanks in it, and I hate him.
He's the agent in it.
Yeah.
Do you mean you hated his performance, or you're supposed to hate him? Yeah.
I just like that. The film in general was just a bit strange, but
it wasn't. That was a bit like a Napoleon, where people didn't realize what the film was going to be about. Like people thought it was going to be about Elvis, but it turned out to be about the manager. It was a very misleading one. But that's where Austin Butler got his voice.
That's
changed.
when he started to go to a different level. Yeah,
but that's
Tom Hanks is obviously
Best actor. Castaway, Forrest Gump. You've got The Green Mile. You've got Terminal. Catch Me If You Can. Saving Private.
Yeah, to be fair, I should have guessed when you said Catch Me If You Can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and Forrest Gump. He's literally my top two. But he is really good.
Did you say Forrest Gump in your top two? I don't think you did.
Yeah, Forrest Gump was my top film.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for paying attention.
Sorry.
Maybe I did. I don't know if I might have not said it, but and he's in Toy Story also.
Yeah, obviously Toy Story. Obviously Tom Hanks is like. Did you ever watch Greyhound on Apple TV? That's Tom Hanks. That's like a war film of like submarines. He's good in that. It's on Apple TV.
Yeah. When he's not on a submarine, so he's stopping the thingies. Yeah, and he's being taunted by the German subs.
He's like on a big tanker or whatever, destroyer or whatever, and he has to. Yeah, it's like.
Really, I really enjoyed that actually. He's just
film.
sick. I'm sure he's been in some crap stuff, but everything I've watched him in is just awesome.
Oh yeah, well, it's Tom Hanks. Like he. To be fair, I shouldn't have left him. I should have.
I can't believe you didn't say him. I was like, he's doing it on purpose.
Like, obviously, you put me on the spot, so it's mind blank. But he's up there. He's definitely up there. Obviously, that everyone has their preference, but you put him
Sully. He was Sully as well in that film.
Really good film, yeah.
Unbelievably good film.
Really good film.
Yeah.
Can't think of much else. But obviously, he's just a great actor.
I'm scrolling through his films now, and it's just like banger. Like,
I think one I can think of that wasn't a great film was Circle, with Emma Watson, or The Circle. I think that was a great film.
He was in Pinocchio, which Laura and I just didn't like the film. But this is it. Like, is his performance the one?
That's a live action though, so that's probably not his fault.
Yeah. Inferno, did you say it was, or Circle?
No, The Circle. To be fair, Da Vinci Code, the whole Da Vinci saga. He's really good in that. Da Vinci Code's really good.
He's the ticket man in Polar Express as well.
Yeah, Polar Express. Obviously, he's
just everywhere.
Like 100 different films. Like.
Yeah, Castaway is actually maybe a sleeper that we probably should have mentioned. That's actually a solid film. A solid film that makes you just think, could you do it? And it's interesting. It's a one-man show, and for most of it, obviously. But no, that's
probably his breakthrough film.
No, I think Forrest Gump was 1994. It says here, and Castaway was 2000. But and Saving Private Ryan was 1998. That man was busy, making banger after banger, and he's got the Green Mile in 1999, and he's in probably the film I'm pretty sure if we googled it now, which is the top bloody film in the world, best film ever, Shawshank Redemption, isn't he?
No, you're thinking of different.
Oh no, I'm thinking who's the guy?
I can't remember the actor's name, but he looks similar. But no, he's not like him. But
I've just seen a photo of him.
He kind of looks like him, but
Tim Robbins. That's why I was mixing him up with. Yeah,
Morgan Freeman's another name.
Also, Morgan Freeman, shout out actor as well.
Yeah,
but there's been some real studs out there, hasn't there? To be fair, it's a tall order, and then we'll go on to actresses, who let me open up a list as well. Who did you say earlier on your actresses?
So Viola Davis would be up there for me. Everything she's in, she's just amazing. She was also in I don't know if you're a fan of Hunger Games, but she was in the new one of that. I thought she was very good in that.
When you say the new one, you mean the prequel where?
Yeah, the Songbird and Snake and Songbird, something like that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
She was really good in that.
I'm very biased on my top pick, which is Natalie Portman, but that's because she's in Star Wars and Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. So we didn't mention Pirates of the Caribbean. That's probably a franchise that we should probably give some credit to. As things.
The first. To be fair, if we ever did like a list of trilogies, like the top trilogies, Pirates of the Caribbean would be up there. You're not a fan of the films?
I'm a fan of the films, but how many did they make in the end? 5 or 6?
Oh no, yeah, but I mean the first 3.
First 3.
The first 3 are when they did their justice. Obviously, the 4th, 5th. I think they did 5.
Yeah.
But the other 2 or 3 are rubbish.
The last 2, yeah. Meryl Streep, you said her? She was in she's in a TV show called Only Murders in the Building. She's really good in that.
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah, I had to look this lady's name because I forget, but she's a really good actress, which is Helena Bonham Carter. She is in Harry Potter, and she always used to play films with Leonardo DiCaprio. You'd recognise her. Yeah,
I probably recognise her, but I can't think of her right now.
I'm trying to. She was in The Crown. She's in Fight Club. She's the woman in Fight Club.
I can't picture her face right now. Sorry.
She's in Les Mis. She's in Sweeney Todd, The King's Speech. unreal actress. She's in so many good films.
Oh, do you mean Bellatrix Lestrange in
That's
Harry
the one.
Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, got you. Yeah,
I'm rubbish
she's
names.
got like she's got a brilliant range of films.
Like, you can feel sad
Real.
for her or you can hate her, and she's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good. She's so
yeah.
good.
Sorry, I should have got that earlier. Female actresses.
I'm trying to think of some other ones. I'm trying to think of films that are like Emma Stone is always quite funny. She's always in like loads of funny films. I always find.
Yeah, she's a really good actress. Obviously, Margot Robbie, very good actress.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence in The Hunger Games was really good as well. She was very solid.
Jennifer Connelly, she's probably up there. She was obviously very good in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
she's a proper good actress. Trying to think of like kind of young up and coming actresses.
Well, you'd go for who's the person in the thing where what's her name? She's like, looks very deadpanned. I can't remember her name though. I'm gonna have to look it up.
The small one.
Yeah, with black hair. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, in Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, I can't remember her name. Jennifer Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. Yeah.
Jenna Ortega. Yeah, I'm only going Jennifer because Jennifer Lawrence is on my screen.
Jenna Ortega.
You'd go her. You'd go Zendaya. Obviously, they're two pretty big people. Thing is, though, it's such a big like. This is it. If you start going to genres, it gets so big and it's so brutal.
I think the two OGs would be Meryl Streep and Viola Davis.
The lady who I really enjoy, who was in The Hidden Figures, who I've looked up her name now, is, I'm going to put it up on the screen because I will butcher the pronunciation, but it's Taraji Henson.
Yeah, that's the one. She's the main actress.
Taraji. Don't know how you say it, but she's unreal. She's in a lot of serious things, but she also in some funny things. I think she was in a show, not a film. So I'm sort of branching out here. So many tabs, but she's always been in quite. She's a very emotive actress. I would describe it as well.
Yeah, she was very good in Hidden Figures. She's in like quite a few comedies and stuff like that.
Do you know who Tilda Swinton is? Tilda Swinton. She was in the thing that you might know her from the most is, I believe she was in the Avengers as the one who had the time stone. She was bold in it.
Oh yeah.
She's in quite a lot of stuff and she's really good. She's a really good actress. Yeah.
From what I've seen of her, she was good in the Marvel films.
Yeah, there was a film, that's what I'm just looking up here. It's called 3,000 Years of Longing. It's with let me find his name. Who is also a young Idris Elba. She's in a film with Idris Elba. It's a very weird film. It's about a genie, or a djinn, as they call it, and it's a very weird film. But they were just really good in it, and it's interesting what we we class as what makes someone good at being an actor or actress. There are some actors you just hate, but you hate them because they're good at being bad characters.
There's the thing, like people get a misconception. You need to hate the character rather than the actor or actress.
Yeah. Some people can't detach that shit. Yeah, some
people go too far and just hate the actors, and it's just like, no, just separate it.
No, but yeah, we've got quite a few. You came up with some real bangers there, but yeah, we've got some very similar ones. But yeah, that's very good, and I think we'll do something next. We'll do TV shows next.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it and have a great day.